Roman Reigns has been champion for over 1,000 days. Gunther has been champion for over a year. Austin Theory for over 200 days. And Seth freaking Rollins, pretty much a month. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I'll be looking at each and every single male WWE champion on the main roster, and I'll be telling you guys who are my picks to dethrone each and every single one of them. Without any further ado, we'll jump with the first championship, with the first champion being the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. So as you know, Reigns has been champion for over 1,000 days. He's dominated the whole roster. Everybody's at his feet, but now the bloodline is crumbling. So we're starting to see maybe some cracks in Roman Reigns' God plan, and we're starting to realize that maybe eventually he could possibly, we don't know, lose the championship, I have 3 names lined up for Roman Reigns. I'll be going from the most probable to the least probable. Please remember that those are just my picks. Tell me if you agree in the comment down below. The first one is kind of obvious, but it's Cody Rhodes, okay? Because last year at WrestleMania, well, this year technically, at WrestleMania 39, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes faced off for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. But the problem is, Cody Rhodes was about to win, but he knocked off the referee, which gave the opportunity for Solo Sikoa to come back in the match after being banned from ringside, and to hit the Samoan spike on Cody Rhodes, which ultimately gave Roman Reigns the win and made sure he retained. But now that the Usos are out of the bloodline, and that, probably in the future Solo Sikoa will be out of the bloodline, and Roman Reigns will end up being by himself, either with or without Paul Heyman. That means that if Reigns and Rhodes have a rematch at WrestleMania 40, Cody Rhodes actually has his chances, because he's not going to have to worry about the Usos, he's not going to have to worry about Solo Sikoa, he's only going to have to worry about Roman Reigns. So it would make sense, having a match 1 year later. They've done the same thing with The Rock and John Cena. It could be a big build-up, and now we're going to be like, okay, this could actually happen. This could actually be the moment where Roman Reigns loses everything. And, they could pull the trigger and finally have Cody Rhodes win the titles after a year of facing people like Brock Lesnar or Dominic Mysterio. The second pick is a bit weird, but let me explain. It is none other than Seth freaking Rollins. I know he's currently the World Heavyweight Champion on Monday Night Raw, but Roman Reigns will probably only lose his championship at WrestleMania 40 next year. Because, let's be honest, he's not going to lose it at Fastlane or at a random SmackDown. He's been champion for over 1,000 days. This has to end properly, unlike WrestleMania or something big. And in theory, until we get to WrestleMania, chances are Seth Rollins will lose his championship. Because I'm pretty sure they'll want the World Heavyweight Championship to change hands at least more frequently than Roman Reigns' championship. So I'm pretty sure that by the end of the year, Rollins will lose his title, okay? I love Rollins, okay? I don't want him to lose, but I'm pretty sure he will lose. That means that he will be free, he will need a match for WrestleMania, and you could have Reigns versus Rollins. It's been seen once in the past, ever since Roman Reigns has been the Universal Champion. And Roman Reigns won because he got disqualified. Well, he didn't win, he lost because he got disqualified, but he retained his championship. So Seth Rollins is technically the only person that has ever beaten Roman Reigns. It's a big technically, because of course there was the disqualification and it wasn't a pin or a submission. But you could have the rematch, and it's a big thing. It's Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. It's the Shield brothers. It would be an incredible main event, and a lot of people would pay for that. Let's be honest. And the third pick, okay, it's a long stretch, but it could be Randy Orton. Okay, there have been many rumors that Randy Orton is not coming back to wrestling, but nothing is confirmed yet. So let's say that he can come back to wrestling and have a couple of last matches. He could actually be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. Randy Orton is known as the Legend Killer. And with his historic reign, Roman Reigns has pretty much became a legend. So, Randy Orton would have to slay one last legend to win the championship. Man, I should be a writer at WWE, guys. Hire me. My email is in the description, man. Just go hire me. Now getting on to the other world champion on Monday Night Raw, the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. It's a bit tough to say because, as I said, it's probably going to be a title that's going to change hands frequently, and they're going to want to move it around. So there's a lot of people that are, probable to defeat Rollins, because it's not like Roman Reigns where he loses after 1,000 days and has defeated some of the toughest guys on the roster. Rollins hasn't been champion for a while. He's had a couple matches, but it's not the biggest title reign in history, let's be honest. Okay, and I love Rollins. Once again, it's not criticizing, but you cannot say that a title reign is the best of all time after 30 days. So I only see a couple of things happening. Whoever wins Money in the Bank this year cashes in on Seth Rollins in the next few months and ends up winning the title. So a guy like Logan Paul or LA Knight or Damon Priest or Shinsuke Nakamura, whoever. Okay, the Mr. Money in the Bank could be the one to defeat Rollins. Gunther Okay, eventually Gunther will lose his Intercontinental Championship, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to push him into the main event scene pretty quickly. So let's say he loses at SummerSlam his Intercontinental Championship. Well, towards the end of the year, he could be the one to defeat Rollins and bring home the World Heavyweight Championship, which would be a great thing for his career. And the match Rollins versus Gunther could actually be great. And the third pick I see would be a returning Drew McIntyre. Of course, nothing is confirmed. It's a long stretch as Randy Orton is. But, Drew McIntyre hasn't been seen in a while. He can give up a good match. He's had a good match with Seth Rollins back in 2020 for the WWE Championship. And, I'd be interested in seeing this again. And Drew McIntyre would come back as a heel because Seth Rollins is now a face. Everybody loves him. So bring back, the Scottish Warrior. Bring him back, okay, with the hair in the face, dead focus. He doesn't care about anything else. And he's dead centered, and he's as a heel, comes back as a bad guy. It would be quite interesting seeing Rollins versus a heel Drew. Now, I've just talked about him. Gunther. Gunther is currently the Intercontinental Championship, okay? He has this beauty. I respect him for that. And, he's been champion for over a year now, and there's rumors that they want him to be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. So they're going to stretch his reign out, to make sure that he beats that record. But when he does beat that record, he's probably going to lose the title eventually. I'm not sure they're going to want to do like Reigns and have Gunther being, IC champion for like over a year, over like 1,000 days. Man, I'm lost. Once again, I've written down 3 picks, but I think those are 3 guys that would fit with Gunther, and they're all from NXT, okay? And I don't know, they just fit the style, and they'd be great picks, and let me explain to you why. Number 1 is Braun Breaker. Why Braun Breaker? He's been dominant in NXT. He's been NXT World Champion. He just faced off against Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. It was a great match. So, it's a great pick, okay, to face Gunther. Gunther has been dominant in NXT as well. They're both big, strong guys. The match would be a battle of the giants, and it would be quite interesting to see. The second pick is Ilja Dragunov. Maybe you don't understand why he's on here, and let me explain. Gunther won the NXT UK Championship off of Pete Dunne, okay? Tyler Bate was the first NXT UK champion. Pete Dunne won the championship from him and held it for like 600 days. And then Gunther defeated Pete Dunne for the championship, for the NXT UK championship, and held it for even longer than Pete Dunne. And he held it for even longer than Pete Dunne did. And eventually he lost the title after like 900 days, I think, to Ilja Dragunov. So Gunther had defeated anyone. He had been the best one on the roster. He took every challenger down, but Ilja Dragunov had his number, and Ilja Dragunov defeated him and won the NXT UK Championship. And now, he would be coming up on the main roster. Dragunov would be coming up on the main roster and could be the one to defeat Gunther, and would be, once again, the only guy that has Gunther's number and that can defeat him any place, anytime, Ilja Dragunov. And that would be perfect storytelling. Do it at WrestleMania. Okay, I'd pay for this match, let's be honest. The third pick is Bronson Reed because, once again, big shape. He needs a singles title soon if they want to push him. In my opinion, he's the future Mark Henry. And he can actually do great in the business, but he needs something to push him and get him to this level. And the Intercontinental Championship would just be a great pick for him. Next up, the United States Champion, Austin Theory, okay? He's over on SmackDown, so the picks, of course, are from SmackDown. I'm trying to make this seem a bit legit. Yes, okay, I did put Orton and, Drew McIntyre for the world titles, but, I'm trying to make this a bit realistic. For Theory, my number 1 pick is Solo Sikoa. Okay, I'm not going to hide it. I'm a big fan of Solo Sikoa. And, I've talked about it. The bloodline is already shattering, and eventually Solo Sikoa will leave Roman Reigns aside. But I'm not sure he'll just go hang out with the Usos and do some random stuff. They'll want to push Solo Sikoa as a single star, trying to give him some matches and rivalries and promos, but on his own, seeing what he can do just by himself. And a great idea would be to give him the United States Championship. He already has the talent. People believe in him. People look at him and yeah, he's a good guy, and not a good guy, he's not nice, but he's a good wrestler and he knows what he's doing. And just the idea of putting the United States Championship on him would elevate him. It would elevate the title. He'd be dominant with it. He could face anyone. And, he had the North American Championship for a bit of time, but not so long because he came up on the main roster. So that would be kind of repaying him and seeing what he can actually do as a champion, My second pick is AJ Styles because I thought of putting Styles against Reigns, but Styles is reaching a certain age. And, you know, I saw it in this match against Seth Rollins at Night of Champions, and he was, let's say, lacking a little. And I love Styles. Man, I love him so much. But, you know, maybe he's not going to be world champion ever again, but at least United States champion. Okay? He is like a 2 or 3 times US champion. And, you know, a Theory versus Styles rivalry would be very interesting, would be entertaining to watch. So I'd actually be sending Styles facing Austin Theory. I think it could be interesting. It could be nice to watch. Why not? And my third and final pick for Austin Theory is LA Knight. Okay? Everybody loves LA Knight. Everybody wants him to win Money in the Bank. But now that Logan Paul is in the match, people feel like Logan Paul is actually going to win. I made a video about that. Go check it out. But yeah, so LA Knight might not win Money in the Bank, but then eventually he could end up facing Austin Theory and going for the United States Championship. And it would be a great rivalry. Okay? 2 guys from NXT that are getting pushed, that are coming up on the main roster and becoming more and more legit, and the crowd believes in them. It would be interesting to see these 2 clash, what they can do in promos, in, you know, in just fights, in segments, and in the actual match, you know. And LA Knight eventually needs to win a championship if they want to keep on pushing him and use the momentum that he has. Now, finally, we have the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions being Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And, you know, for them, I realistically only have one pick because I don't see many other tag teams, you know, standing out and getting to that, let's say, desired level. And the only pick I have is the Judgment Day, okay? The Judgment Day are always over. People like them. And, you know, if you want to push them and make sure that when they all break up, they can, you know, go on and have successful careers, it would be interesting to push them and give them tag titles, you know. They'd have to decide who they want to put it on. Would it be Priest and Mysterio? Would it be Priest and Balor? Would it be Balor and Mysterio? They'd have to see, okay? And with all the rumors of JD McDonough joining, maybe they'll bring in JD McDonough and, you know, find a way of doing it. Or, like, maybe they'll split the titles and have, you know, the Raw Tag Team Champions being Dominic Mysterio and Damon Priest, and have the SmackDown Tag Team Champions being Finn Balor and JD McDonough, which would be very interesting. It would be actually nice. Okay, that's a theory. But if it does happen, quote me. Okay, I want all the money. I want everything. Okay, if it happens, I'm your guy. But yeah. I don't see many other tag teams, you know, being able to step up to that level and becoming, you know, tag team champions. Judgment Day are pretty much the only tag team for me that have standed out and proven themselves. And it's time to actually believe in them and put some more titles on them other than just the one that Rhea Ripley already has. Talking about women, there's going to be another video where I'm going to talk about the Women's Championship. So who should dethrone Rhea Ripley, who should dethrone Asuka, and who should dethrone both Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. So make sure to be on the lookout for that video. Thank you guys for watching this one. Let me know, do you agree with my picks? Do you think I should have changed some people? Who do you think should defeat Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Gunther, Austin Theory, and then Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? Quick reminder that this channel is in a partnership with W.GG. It's an energy drink, and if you want more information about it, you can go in the description. There's going to be my link. You can use my promo code Heelish at checkout to get 10% off. 10% off. And yeah, all the information is there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!